Probably one of the greatest months of the year. The 19th, other months are available, but this is the greatest.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's more than just knowing.
Weak.
It's not about strength. It's about strength of mind. Okay? And I'm going to hit you with easy for you to say. It's Epictetus, but pay attention because it's a short one.
Easy for me to say.
That's why philosophers remind us not to settle for just learning. We need to practice and train. Over time, we forget what we've learned, start doing the opposite, and end up believing the wrong things. Mr. Potter. So, when I think about this, I think you're building your sales toolkit, right? The tools, the practical things that you're going to use. But in that, how often are we going, right, I'm actually really good at that. I'm really good at being attractive and sending people voice notes in LinkedIn and then them booking meetings with me, right? That could be a thing.
That could be a thing.
But I'm not as strong on cold calling. And I start telling myself, well, cold calling doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah? Or I'm really good at that opener and there's this other opener that I could try, but I'm really good at this opener, so I'm not going to try it. Yeah? Or even still, learning a skill set in training, learning a particular skill in training and thinking, yeah, I get it, and then not actually putting it into practice.
Yeah.
And our goal here, I think, as salespeople is to have this really nice, well-rounded skill set. So in a business like ours where, you know, you might have a campaign where you're ringing CEO, right? I'm ringing CEO of smaller business to sell them this AI solution. And I'm smashing it. I'm cool. I'm great. Well, that's a great thing. Like, pat on the back for that. Definitely, like, reward yourself for that, and you should be. But actually, if you want to be the most well-rounded salesperson, can you now sell to the CFO of a massive investment bank? Well, actually, no, the skill set doesn't seem to carry over. Right, okay, so is that because it doesn't work, or is that because you're lacking somewhere to make it work? Have you got that ability and that awareness to be able to go, why is it that works so well for me, but that one doesn't? And how do I make this the ultimate well-rounded skill set? So where does your mind go when I give you that?
Well, I just think there are so many techniques and laughing. I was going to say, why should people try to? I was going to bat it back to you and actually ask, but why? If I can sell to a CEO, why should I try and enhance my skill set and learn to sell to a CFO? Because there'll be people listening to this, and they'll be thinking, but I'm good at what I do. Why do I need to do that?
Because living is learning.
Wow,
isn't it? And actually, you want to progress. Of course, you can just hit a lane and go, cool, I'm happy with this. And that's fine. And maybe there's no ambition to push that anywhere forward. But I know for me, and a lot of other salespeople that I've worked with, if I was like, right, this really works for you, maybe you get a promotion, maybe you get a bit of money out of it, you tick those boxes, suddenly it gets itchy again. And it's like, oh, I feel like I probably need a bit more, I need another challenge. Because we were always, as human beings, wanting to progress and learn and adapt and develop and evolve. But I'm with you. If people are saying, well, no, look, I've been selling to this industry for 10 years. I know the target market. I'm comfortable in it. I'm happy in it. Who am I to tell you to change that and not do that? But if your goal is, how can I be the most well-rounded salesperson ever? I know there's a lot of stuff out there of people wanting to be, you know, high-ticket closers, whatever that means. And
what does that mean?
I don't know what it
What
means.
is a high-ticket closer?
And all these different things of like, I want to be like this contract gun for hire salesperson, which is probably the way the market's going. If you really want that and you want to have that skill set, well, you need to be able to sell to as many different personality types across many different verticals as possible. But you're probably going to tell me you don't agree with that.
I think that it's all about mastery, and there's something beautiful about the pursuit of happiness. But people they say learn as if you'll live forever and live as if you'll die tomorrow.
Who says that?
They all do it. I think John Cena said it.
You can't see me.
That's a callback joke. That's where like the happiness is of I'm trying to get better. I'm doing better, and all the joy comes from the journey. We know this, that you get to the top of the mountain and actually there's a bigger mountain and then a bigger mountain. And when you look back, you go, but how cool was it when we were down there and we had to, when we look back now on our early days, we look back at the early days and we go, God, that was fun. That was really good. But at the time we probably didn't enjoy it as much because we were on this trajectory of like, just get us a bigger office and a team and this revenue and blah, blah, blah. And now you look back and go, oh, there's something quite beautiful about those moments. So I think learning is so powerful, and only when you learn and enjoy and be part of that journey, that's when you can truly be better.
Yeah, that reminds me of that. I went go-karting with my current team.
You didn't?
On Friday. I went go-karting my current team on Friday.
And where did you come?
Ninth. And I actually said to him, make sure you really enjoy tonight and the meal and whatever else, because we've just hired 3 new people, and actually sometimes it doesn't go back. So it's like enjoying those little moments. And actually I remember really clearly saying it to you, so just before our very first hires started, like, we should probably take a minute to enjoy this week a bit, because we're probably never going to have just the 2 of us again. This
is the moment, and we talk about it in our. I remember some of the team would be like, "What chapter are we on now? What season is this?" Because it's like a TV show, like Game of Thrones or How I Met Your Mother, and it's like
they're very different.
Yeah, they are, but they're both long. And they've got many episodes. But it's a case of like, there are many seasons through life, and there will be some people that come into your, when you think about salespeople and teams, reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. So you're like a season friend to me, like you're part of this season, and maybe in like the next 10 years you'll go away, fingers crossed, and we can start a new season. But when you hire people, they come into, even the bad hires, they're there for a reason. Some people are great and they'll be there for a season and they go on to do something else, and some people, unfortunately, you can't fucking get rid of them, and they're there for a lifetime. And I love you. I've been Jack Frimson.
I've been Zach Thompson.
Remember, you will die.
I believe that children are the future.